I'd like to call to the podium next John Hoeft, Hoeft. He is the past state commander of the Disabled American Veterans in Wisconsin, and he'll give us a few. As a matter of fact, I just want to say one thing. There's only about 3 or 4 veterans groups that I actually donate money to, and I do donate to the DAV because I trust that organization, because I do the American Legion and the VFW and the ANVETS and some of the big organizations. And I'm really proud that you're here today, and that in Chippewa Falls we have a DAV van that can travel from the Chippewa Falls area to Minneapolis, take veterans there, and basically go home. So we thank you for that, and I think we're getting a new van this year too, so that's good.
Thanks, Leroy. Kind of a hard act to follow after we just heard on the phone. I know Gary personally, known him for years. Being an Army veteran myself, I was at his dedication up at King when they did the new memorial here a couple of years ago. If you get a chance, go to King. You'll see all the Congressional Medal of Honor winners in a circle there. Anyway, like you said, I'm John Hoeft. You probably wonder what chapter I belong to around here. I'm actually from Winnebago County, Oshkosh area. I live in Amro, and I'm proud to be here today. Thanks to Dennis Woods. He's our commander up there at Ladysmith. He asked me if I'd say a few words, which cut me off if I get carried away. But anyway, I want to tell you about the DAV, but I want to give you a little insight on my thoughts about being a Vietnam veteran. First of all, it was October of '68. I got sworn in Milwaukee, and then I went down to Fort Campbell, Kentucky for my basic. From there, Advanced Infantry Training, Fort Lewis, Washington, where the most of us went. Went home, kissed your mother goodbye, Vietnam into Benoit, and then I got sent to Long Binh, dispatched through the 199th Infantry Brigade, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Infantry, Charlie Company, 3rd Platoon. I always ask the question, pertaining not only to myself, but all my Vietnam veteran friends. Who is this Vietnam vet? Back when we first went in, we were young, 20s, 25 years old. Now, being in the late 60s and 70s, what is happening to us? In case you haven't been paying attention, these past few decades, after you return from Vietnam, the clock has been ticking. Of the 2,709,918,000 Americans who have served in Vietnam, less than 850,000 of us are estimated to be alive today. The youngest American Vietnam veteran is approximately 55 years old. How does it feel to be among the last 1/3 of us U.S. Vietnam vets who served in Vietnam? Don't know about you guys and girls, but it kind of gives me the chills. Concerning this is a kind of information I'm used to reading about our fathers, World War II vets, who I appreciate the heck out of, and our Korean War vets. You're both here today. We read about your situation and your status and how you're dwindling. Now it's happening to our 60s and 70s. Anyway, like I'm sure all of you, Vietnam vets are proud to have served your country.
My name's on the freaking wall.
My last statistic is we had 47,378 hostile deaths. We had 10,800 non-hostile deaths. 8 nurses died in Vietnam, 1 was killed in action. 61% of the men killed were 21 or younger. 11,465 of those killed were younger than 20 years old. Of those killed, 17,539 were married. The average age of men killed was 23.1 years. 5 men killed in Vietnam, believe it or not, were only 16 years old. Our kids. The oldest man killed on record was 62 years old. The highest state rate, believe it or not, is in West Virginia. Wounded, we had over 304,000. Missing in action, 2,338. And POWs, 766. 114 died in captivity. 82% of the veterans who saw heavy combat strongly believed the war was lost because of lack of political will. Nearly 75% of the public agrees it was a failure of political will, not of our arms. 97% of us received honorable discharges. 91% of actual Vietnam War veterans and 90% of those who were in combat are proud to have served their country. 74% said they would serve again knowing the outcome. And 87%, believe it or not, of the public now holds Vietnam veterans in high esteem. Now that's statistic. That one always bothered me. I'm glad to hear it now. But 87% of the public now hold Vietnam veterans in high esteem. What happened back in the 60s and 70s? They could care less that we were to survive. And I'll just share with you a situation. Most of you went through the same thing. I only served 19 months on a 2-year draft. I got my basic AIT, go home, Vietnam, I was done. I never got to enjoy any of the forts or Germany or wherever you went. When we got on that plane, it was like a cargo plane coming home. 19 hours. We did stop in Tokyo to fuel, and then we went on. I thought, geez, I can stop in Hawaii. Well, we didn't stop in Hawaii. Flew into Oakland. Wait, they're not ready in customs for you. We are like animals. God bless those women that were stewardess or caretakers of us, because we were nuts. We got off that plane, walked down on this blacktop, and like myself and most of us, we kissed the asphalt. But we went around the front of that plane, and they were told us on the plane, single file, keep in line with the guy in front of you. All of a sudden, it's black. I seen all these protesters, I got hit with the tomato, so being Mr. Hammer machine gunner, I went like this, and 2 guys grabbed me and says, it's the worst thing you can do. Well, next step, I get in, this guy in a fancy suit, he says, oh, you got a little bag, I got the clothes in my bag. Hey buddy, where do you think you're taking that machete? This isn't US. This is Australia. Like probably a lot of you Army people especially, we worked with the Aussies for months, especially our 2nd Battalion, 3rd Infantry. This was given to me an Aussie. Carrying a machine gun, I wore this on the other side. Not getting into war stories, it was used. I keep this right now in my bedroom, hanging on my windowsill. I don't need a weapon. If someone comes and robs me, they can shoot me all they want because that thing's going to be used. But I'll tell you what, they try to take this away. All the stuff we captured, everything we captured, AK-47s, supplies. Did any of us grunts see any of that to get taken home? No. All the big brass, they got all the stuff that we did to work for. This is what I believe in. My wife was scared of me all the years she was married because drinking was a problem for me, and I'm sure most of you. I come home from bowling, half in the bay, and I start swinging this around and playing Billy Joel, Good Night Saigon. And it wasn't pretty. Anyway, we all adjusted or tried adjusting to civilian life, especially with the help of our family and some close friends. But where were the veteran organizations and the VA back when we needed them? That's why our young people from the Vet's office said, it's not going to happen to us because of us. And he's right. We will not let it happen to these young veterans. We're done. I believe in all the organizations. But I did not want to join anything. He didn't care when I got out. Best thing got to me is I got married. Because I would have been 6 foot under living here. I know that, or else I'd come back and gave him out. I got in fights. I became a drunk. It just, society wasn't cooperative. to help my wife, who left me because of alcohol, I adjusted again. I finally joined and got involved. And the first was the Fox Valley Vietnam Veterans. It's the independent Vietnam group that's ready to fold, but I'm trying to keep it alive. And then working at Rockwell, I worked for the finance department at Rockwell and Oshkosh. I had 2 World War II vets, they were brothers, come up to me and said, hey, Hep, give me $10. It only cost like $5 or $10 each to join back in probably '76. I said, I'm not interested. Join. We need you young vets. We need you young vets. I joined, and then eventually I joined, believe it or not, I belonged to 11 other groups. And all representative here today I belong to. But anyway, when I received my first major medical care and found out I was a type 2 diabetic from the chemicals from that Agent Orange, the DAV, especially through the DAV National Service Office, reached out and was very helpful. So I joined, which eventually I transferred from Milwaukee up to my county in Winnebago. From there I got involved with local levels, district levels, and in 2010 I became the state commander. Then I got involved with the national. I met the last 11 or 12 national conventions, and I was honored by Ron Hoeft. He's our national commander. He was a door gunner like Gary Wenzel. He asked me to be his deputy chief of staff, and I'm honored to be that on a national level. The DAV is a legacy of service and hope for the future, and our mission statement dictates that. Fulfilling our promises to the men and women who serve. Simple. We are dedicated to a single purpose, empowering veterans to lead high-quality lives with respect and dignity. We accomplish this by ensuring that veterans and their families can access the full range of benefits available to them. Fighting for the interests of Americans injured heroes on Capitol Hill, out in D.C., and out there quite a bit. And educating the public about the great sacrifices and needs of veterans transitioning back to civilian life. I am proud to have been appointed in that position. With my involvement in the veterans organizations today, especially the DAV and the American Legion, which I started the Legion in honor of because of the death of an Iraqi soldier, we started a memorial. If you ever get to that small community, stop and see that beautiful memorial, which we honor World War II all the way up to the present. And being associated with other veterans has been my psychological therapy and healing of those mental wounds that have been stored in my mind, in my body for years. Thank you to all veterans organizations for what you do for the veterans. God bless you all. God bless this great country.